If you've already played Final Fantasy Tactics at all, then you already know the game rewards you for having good builds on your team. In fact, the builds that you have often determine whether you dominate the battlefield or you get completely crushed. With the Ivalice Chronicles remaster now, it's the perfect time to rethink your party from the ground up. So today we're breaking down the top 5 best builds you absolutely need to try in Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles remastered. We'll cover how each setup works, the best abilities to unlock, what makes them so good when used correctly. Whether you prefer explosive damage from the Black Mage, tactical support from White or Time Mages, or just pure destruction combining classes like Ninja and Monk, this list is going to have you covered from the early game all the way to the end game. So with that said, let's jump right into it. Number 5 is one of the most balanced and simplistic melee damage setups in the game, that being the Monk combined with the Squire. And I think a lot of players overlook the Squire early on because it is the first job that you unlock in the game, but combined with the Monk specifically, it does help to round out this build to make it great in a lot of encounters. Now early on you can level as the Squire, of course, pick up the basic abilities that they have, for example movement +1, counter tackle, and of course JP boost. Soon after that you can move on to the Knight and then eventually the Monk. But with the Monk job, you're going to get access to some of the best abilities in the game. Plus, the stat growth on the Monk is going to be perfect for a melee damage dealer. So much so you can actually play the majority of the game then as the Monk, slowly progressing through their amazing abilities and bouncing back to other jobs as needed. And once you learn Chakra and Revive, you can also pivot back to the Squire and learn the Focus ability. This one allows you to have a spammable skill so that you can power level grinding your JP on any turn. You'll also be able to off heal at this point with the Monk's Chakra ability, or if you're using Ramza in later chapters, you can even gain more powerful abilities like Shout, for example. Shout is Ramza specific, but it is a powerful buff, giving you a well-rounded build to buff yourself, allies, heal, and deal damage up close or at range. As we said, the Monk's ability set is pretty much best in slot for any melee damage dealer due to their access to healing and revive abilities. You can even swap to the Thief if you want at any point to pick up the movement +2 ability without feeling totally useless. In terms of pros, the Monk and Squire combination gives you strong damage and self-sustain, especially early on. It's easy to unlock and train early as well. The stat growth on the Monk is going to be excellent. And like we said, you can use those basic Squire skills, Focus and JP Boost, for extremely efficient JP farming in any battle. In terms of cons, the Monk and Squire is going to lack in terms of ranged options like Throw from the Ninja. They are weak when it comes to AoE damage and are particularly focused on single target. This combo doesn't have everything as you approach endgame. Jobs like the Ninja are certainly flashier, but as we said, this is just a good all-around option. You can heal, revive, you can hit hard, and without the need for constant gear upgrades thanks to using the Monk, but there are better melee options for sure that we'll share down a little bit later on this list. Coming up next, we have the White Mage Time Mage Support Specialist. Now, while the White Mage is mainly known for their healing and having the Holy Spell to give you a little bit of offensive potential, once you pair them with the Time Mage who can buff allies specifically with spells like Haste, you have an amazing combination. Typically for this build, you're going to buff on turn number 1, and then heal or deal damage on turn 2 and throughout the rest of the battle. Once you access abilities like Swift Spell from the Time Mage, your White Mage spells actually fire off almost instantly, giving you revive speed like a Chemist, but with a unit coming back at much higher HP. Also, the White Mage Time Mage combo has some more advanced spells like Meteor, for example, which can deal massive AoE damage. So you could cast Holy on a single target, and then Meteor when you need AoE to clean things up, plus retaining all the amazing support and healing options that these two jobs have access to. It's almost mandatory to have this type of setup on your team due to that amazing healing, being able to revive at range, plus the extra bonus damage on demand. In terms of pros for the White Mage and Time Mage combo here, like we said, they are top tier when it comes to healing and support abilities in Final Fantasy Tactics. You can greatly manipulate turn order to your advantage with abilities like Haste and Slow. Swift Spell also reduces those recovery delays, making this combo really valuable, especially for the longer story fights in this game. In terms of cons though, they do have a bit lower damage output when compared to other spellcasters. They are going to be more dependent on your team for protection, and it can take a while to unlock those higher JP spells. But as we said, it's always helpful to have some pure healing and support characters on your team. And while these aren't as flashy as a Black Mage, for example, it's going to be very useful to have this one when you need a revive or to buff a character to improve your overall performance. We definitely recommend you have this combo in your party somewhere if you don't already. But speaking of which, number 3 on this list is the Black Mage Time Mage combo, which is all about AoE damage nukes. This is going to be the classic spellcaster combo, combining the heavy damage of Black Mage with the utility of the Time Mage. In this case, you can start battles again by casting either Haste or Slow to manipulate the turn order, then follow those up immediately with elemental attacks. The combo is made even better here with the Swift Spell support ability from Time Mage, lowering your cast times overall. Again, this is going to give you near instant nukes, so you never miss a group of enemies bunched together. You can always get those spells off when you need them, though if you do want slightly more damage, you want to pick up Magic Boost from the Black Mage. As you progress into the late game, the Time Mage spells start to get even more powerful. You gain access to Meteor, which we already mentioned, for another AoE damage spell, Quick to instantly take a turn, or Reflect to protect against fellow spellcasters. If you spend enough time on the Time Mage, you gain access to the best movement spell in the game, Teleport. But while this can fail, and it is expensive, you can still gamble and travel long distances to safety, or even wipe a team before they take a turn. In terms of pros for the Black Mage Time Mage combo, as we said, there is huge AoE damage potential here. Abilities like Haste, Slow, and Stop give you absolute control of the battlefield. Shorter charges cuts your casting time in half, and it's going to be a great build for grinding and for story battles. In terms of cons, as a spellcaster, it is of course more fragile and vulnerable to physical attacks. Don't forget that most of these AoE spells do have friendly fire as well, so watch out for your allies, and you can have some high MP costs, so make sure you have some ethers on hand as well. But for pure magical devastation, nothing really beats the Black Mage Time Mage combo. This build can clear encounters fast, and it stays relevant all the way through the end of the game. It's going to be perfect for players who love dominating with area control and damage. Plus, in the endgame deep dungeon, this combo is also amazing, wiping floor after floor when enemies get clumped into groups. Build number 2 on this list is an extremely unique combination that's honestly a bit overpowered, especially as you approach the endgame in Final Fantasy Tactics. This build is the Chemist job combined with the Knight. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the Chemist. It is a starting job in Final Fantasy Tactics. It lets you heal, revive, and eliminate status effects instantly and without MP, so it is a great starter job. But as you progress through the game, the Chemist can get even better when unlocking Auto Potion for reactions and the ability to equip guns as a ranged weapon. This is where things get really interesting, because an Overlook combo is combining the Chemist with the Knight's Art of War ability set, with the Knight's abilities like Rend, allowing you to destroy weapons and armor, which are typically thought of melee abilities, but for some reason still work with any attack, even with a gun from range. Now, while you won't be able to equip a gun at level 1 with the Chemist, you will get this as you progress through the game, and this allows you to not only deal good damage at range, but also destroy targets' most valuable and effective armor and weapons, making them completely helpless. Now, if you plan on doing this combo, you should focus on raising your unit's physical attack, as this will result in more damage and more reliable breaking of those items. Plus, since you have instant healing and revives, you don't need MP or any other resources, allowing you to have max range and survival for this one. Plus, the setup works amazing at the endgame deep dungeon. Nothing like throwing a phoenix down at an undead enemy to instantly destroy them. In terms of pros for the Chemist and Knight build, early on we will have access to instant healing and thrown items through the Chemist, allowing you to attack or defend and support depending on the situation. As we said, there's no MP needed or cast times, making the build very reliable. And once you unlock the gun, combined with Rend, you can destroy weapons and armor on every turn from range. In terms of cons, the Chemist Knight combo is a fully ranged build. It does have limited AoE potential compared to other mage setups, and the healing isn't quite as powerful as what the white mage has access to, especially at endgame. But this is a solid combination. From start to finish, this one is surprisingly effective and a ton of fun to play. But that brings us to our favorite build for Final Fantasy Tactics, number 1 on this list. That's the Ninja Monk combination for ultimate physical damage. Now, many people know about this one. It's been around forever. We know the Ninja has that massive speed boost plus built-in dual wielding, meaning you can slice 2 times and equip 2 weapons. You can even equip dual wield in your support ability slot and use the monk for a while as your primary damage dealer. However, staying as the ninja with your primary job allows you to almost always go first in an encounter, get massive movement per turn, and also throw many objects at enemies clear across the battlefield for an easy range damage option. Going this route allows you to pair the monk's martial arts as your secondary ability setup, adding for a ton of support options. Right here you'll have healing, revive, be able to cleanse negative effects, plus do single target and AoE damage with abilities like Shockwave. Basically, you can get all of the monk's utility in that secondary slot, plus the ultimate damage dealer with dual wield and throne options from the ninja. Plus, playing as a monk or a ninja boosts your stats really well. Monks favor HP and PA, while ninjas are going to focus more on speed. Honestly, nothing beats going first on turn 1 and nuking a boss before they can even attack your team. In terms of pros on the ninja monk combo, as we said, this build has exceptional speed and PA growth. The two main ability sets here, with dual wield combined with martial arts, offer insane damage output. You have all that self-healing and utility options through martial arts, plus great mobility and flexibility on the battlefield. In terms of cons on this one, you do have low durability potentially against magic, and it does require a significant JP investment into these two advanced jobs, so it will take you a little bit longer to get here. But if you want a build that can really one-shot enemies and still shrug off most damage and status ailments, the Ninja Monk combo delivers all the way until endgame. It's also one of the best builds for Ramza or any physical damage dealer really. You can check out our Ramza build linked down below if you want more information on that. Also check out the written guide in the pinned comment below. This one has even more information on the builds that we presented in this video, plus full written guides that break down the build's progression, best abilities, best equipment, and a whole lot more. So make sure to check those out, and thanks again for watching. We will see you around in the next video.